We'll make the 232 ish. I think that's right. Well, I don't know why I started with my arm in such a bad position. Yeah, it's good. Hey. I don't know what's better. There we go. Yeah, I'm wearing a Batman shirt from Target that I got when I did yard work for my church one time. Yay. Kind of like frozen lemonade. Right now just ice and a little bit of lemon flavoring that melted already. So I'm assuming it will just turn to water, the ice that's left. So. Anyways, I'm trying to order this lawn Furby, from a store that I already bought one from. So I know the products are good. However, I emailed them like, hey, you make custom lawn Furbies, I want this one. She's like, okay. I'm like, I want this one. She's like, what color do you want? I'm like, this. Exactly this. For the ears, for the body, for everything. This. And she was like, okay. She's like, I made one. And I was like, what? Oh, okay. And she's like, here. I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. And she's like, what? Like, I'm like, I didn't know what to say. So I'm like, oh, is it impossible to get the ears to be orange like I said I wanted? But I didn't say it like that. I just said like the original photo I sent you. She goes, yeah, it's impossible, I already made this. I'm like, oh. And she's like, what's, and so pretty much I'm like, oh. She's like, sorry, it's not what you wanted. If you don't like it, someone else will buy it. And I was like, oh, cool. You know, talking, and I just like continue talking because I'm like, I would like this color, green, with orange ears. Well, it's for my sibling. It's for my sibling's birthday because that's what she wants. So I'm like, so I want that. And she's like, no, I already made it. I'm like, what do you mean you already made it? She's like, no, I already made the one I made. It's lime green. If it's not what you want, go somewhere else. And I was like, you make custom ones. It's not my fault in the middle of the night you decided to make that. I wasn't on freaking Etsy all night until I finished, like, until the afternoon. So there's no way I could have. You didn't even ask, you just made it blue. So she made one of the ears blue. I'm like, why do I want it blue? She goes, like, it's to mirror the rainbow eyes. I'm like, yeah, that's super duper dope. But that's not what I wanted. And, so I'm just like, that's not what I wanted. And, it was just really annoying. Because I'm just like, oh, sorry, that's literally not what I asked for. And I'm not spending a lot of money on something I didn't ask. And she's like, okay, cool, we'll go somewhere else. I'm like, well, don't you make custom ones? And she was like, I already made this, so that's it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So now I left it with either I buy one with a rainbow ear that I didn't want, or my sibling didn't want, or I go somewhere else. And I'm just like, oh. And again, it's not like I'm asking her to make me one special. It's literally, she said, custom, you get to choose everything. And that's what I did. And that's what I would have done. I would have done that. I would have literally purchased it if just the ear was orange. But why did she make a blue ear when I didn't ask for it? And she's like, I just don't see what's wrong with it. Only one ear is different. Because it's not what I asked for. It's like if I wanted it all like one other color and you go and you change it. Like yeah, you know, it's like, and I didn't want to be rude about it, so I was really, really nice about it. Like, oh, yeah, and then when she said, no, I'm done, I'm like, okay, well, thanks. Anyways, kind of thing. She's like, I just don't see what's wrong with it. I'm like, I'm really sorry, I really like your stuff. Like, this is the second time purchasing from you. It's not a bad Furby, it just isn't what I wanted. And that's where we left it. And I just felt, it's like weird because I feel bad because she made it, but she's like, oh, don't worry, it'll get purchased anyways. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't, how did I feel bad? We weren't in the order process. We weren't in the order process. I was talking about it, and she just made one. And she didn't even know when I wanted it. She was just like, cool. Made it, and I'm like, I didn't. And she put it up before I was even online or anything. So she had it up for a few hours, and I'm just like, what if someone bought it? It was just like really silly. Like, it would just like give it. She knows best about that, probably. But just like, what if someone just bought it? You just put up a listing for it. You just put up a listing. It's just not what I wanted. So now I'm looking at her shop and I see all these ones that are listed, and I'm like, is that a misorder as well? Did other people have the same issue? Because maybe you just need to take a few days to actually understand what each other wants, because that's not what I wanted. But I guess I read the messages and I showed them my messages to the sister, and I'm like, is she being mean or am I misreading it? And my sibling's like, no, she's being mean. And I'm like, oh. Because I'm like, maybe she was just trying to be nice, but it kind of started to get really mean sounding, especially at the end, where I'm like, oh, I hope she doesn't think I was being mean. And my sibling's like, no, I don't think you sounded mean, but, and I'm just like, okay. And I'm not gonna like, no, make it for me. I just like, oh, all I wanted was a lime green Furby with orange ears that I know you made before. That's it. You even had the fabric because you made one of the ears that color. I just wanted the ears with that color. You can rip open the stitches. Just change the ear. That's it. Just change the ear. And the thing is, if she's like, no, this is the closest I can make for you, I would have just asked my sibling, hey, is a rainbow ear okay instead of all orange? But now that she's being mean, my other sibling, my sister, is like, no, we don't want to buy from her. So the problem is, if she just went, hey, this is the closest I can make, I would have bought it. I probably would have bought it. But the fact now that I can't have it, like, it does, the fact that she was mean is the problem. Because, again, if she just said, sure, bud, here is the, that would have been like, sure, here is it, the thing I asked for, I would have bought it. If she said, no, this is the closest thing I can make for you, with one of the ears being a different color, I'd be like, okay, dope, that's fine, chill, like, probably would get it anyways. But since she was being like, no, this is what I made, I don't see the problem, I'd be like, oh, well, you made it without even asking me. I don't think that's how that should work. Well, the thing is, she did ask me, and she just made it not what I said. If I said what I asked for, green with orange ears, and you come out with a different product, that's not custom. And maybe she just wants to make what she makes, which is fine. but then don't have custom written, you know? I don't know, I just feel, like, low-key I feel bad because you made it, but I also don't feel bad because that's not what I asked for. So I feel bad for also not feeling bad, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad. But I'm not, but again, it's like custom made price. So I'm like, I'm not going to pay for custom made price if it isn't what I wanted. But yeah, I don't know, because I would hate to be rude about it and be like entitled, but what got me is just like, I don't know, smacked me in the face. And I'm just like, okay, if this isn't fine, we'll buy something else. Because it's freaking like $200 or something, like for a custom one from this person. $200, dude. I can buy all the other stuff she wants for around that price. I can get her all the other items, the necklace that she wants, the shoes she wants, and the shirt she wants for that price. But we were choosing to buy a long Furby. So, I don't know. So I was watching background noise of Unsolved, and so here's the thing. Obviously, if someone that does baseline research won't know things about every little aspect of it. So I'm not saying that like, oh, they should know this. No. But it's really funny to me because I know baseline information of Japan and the cops and stuff around it, like in it. So here's the thing, that in the episode that they just put up, the monster of 21 faces or something, or with 21 faces, they named themselves after a book. Didn't even describe what the book was about. I think a lot of motivation probably would be discovered if you know what the meaning of that book is. I couldn't find it. I kept finding the case, and I'm like, no, what is the book? The book, the actual book. Because if I named myself after What's a character that actually stands for something? I don't know. If I named myself after a particular figure in something, a book, in a media, in a poem, and something, clearly I would want you to reference that when thinking about me, but maybe not. But I would have at least figured that out. But two, the biggest thing is you're like 93% murder case convictions. Here's the thing. Japan has a policy that they can hold you for like 28 days straight. And there's a lot of brutality cases. A lot. So, with being 90% conviction, some of those cases have proof that that person could not have done it, like at all, like could not have done it, but they confess because 28 days of abuse. Yeah, I would too. So it's like 28 days to the point when I was there, the person from like that knew about it, they're like, don't call, if you ever find a dead body, just don't call the cops. Don't do it. Don't be the one that discovered the body, because they're going to hold you for, if not the full 28 days, they're going to hold you for a long time. And I'm like, oh, maybe not me because I was foreign, like it would be a different incident, but like they're like a lot of dead bodies actually don't get reported because they don't want to be the one to have found the body, because instantly the cops are looking at you and be like, you found a body, that's a little sus, and then hold you. So citizens could be held for 28 days or something. Yeah, of course there's convictions. That doesn't mean they're correct, though. Again, proven could not be this person. And then it's like with things like that, where it's like, and they must be really smart. No, you get detectives and higher up. I don't know. I'm assuming you work your way up. Street level cops in Japan are laughed upon for being extremely dumb and not being able to do things, like, at all. Like, you know how we laugh about in America donuts and fat and like can't do things like that? Yeah, that's but with like intelligence, like not smart. And it's just like, oh my god, no, it's not that they're really smart. It's that they literally hold you until you confess. And the fact that it's like, oh. And I call out American cops. I'm not saying they're good. No. Do not get me wrong. I'm just saying that when talking about other people's police, maybe do a little bit more than looking up their stats. Look up why their stats are like this. Same with America. Why are our stats like this? Why, there's problems. I'm not saying there's not. Do not worry.